Have you ever found yourself working long hours, exhausted from morning to night, but your bank account still looks the same, flat, empty, disappointing? I've been there. I still remember standing in front of the refrigerator in my small apartment in Queens, looking at yesterday's leftovers. I wasn't sighing because of hunger. I sighed because my phone had just pinged me. Available balance, less than $20. At that time, I was juggling 2 jobs, cutting back on every expense, even saying no to a weekend coffee with friends. And yet, money slipped through my fingers as if it had wings. That was when I started asking myself, what am I missing? Out of curiosity, I began reading, observing, and listening. And I discovered something fascinating. The Jewish community, once poor, once homeless, once pushed to the margins, managed to rise to become one of the world's wealthiest and most influential groups. They didn't do it with luck or magic. They did it with mindset. Not a get-rich-quick formula, but principles of living, simple habits, consistently applied, seemingly small perspectives that could transform an entire life. In this story, I'll share 14 powerful Jewish secrets of money, lessons that will help you. Asterisk. Earn money without burning yourself out. Asterisk. Keep money without living in fear. Asterisk. And use money as a tool, not as a chain that drags you backward. If you've ever wondered why some people quietly build wealth while others keep struggling paycheck to paycheck, this is for you. Principle 1. Respect the power of $1. Jewish families often say, if you can't handle $1, you'll never handle $1 million. That sounds almost too simple, but it's the first brick in their financial castle. They don't laugh at someone who bends down to pick up a penny on the sidewalk. They don't mock a child putting $1 into a piggy bank, because to them, every dollar is a seed. Take care of it, and it becomes a tree. There's an old story often told in Jewish households. A 1-2-year-old boy was given a silver coin by his parents and challenged to turn it into 2. He bought a bag of cookies, split them into smaller packs, and sold them at the street corner in Brooklyn when office workers passed by after work. Within a week, he doubled his money. His parents then gave him the next challenge, turn $2 into $5. Years later, that boy grew up to own a supermarket chain. The lesson? Don't despise small money. Small money isn't the enemy. The real danger is the person who thinks small money doesn't matter. In America, I once met a young waitress in New York. Every night after her shift, she put a few dollars in a jar labeled Skill Fund. When she finally had $300, she signed up for a digital marketing course. 3 months later, she landed an online job that doubled her income. That's not magic. That's discipline. That's the $1 mindset. Principle 2. Intelligence is currency. Jewish parents teach their children, muscles may keep you alive, but intelligence will let you thrive. They say, you can lose your house, your money, even your job, but if you keep your mind sharp, you can always start again. Think of George Soros. Before becoming one of the world's most famous investors, he worked odd jobs in New York, janitor, waiter, porter, just to survive. But what truly changed his future wasn't the jobs. It was how he trained his mind every single day studying economics, analyzing markets, sharpening foresight. That's the Jewish mindset. Don't just ask, how can I earn more? Instead ask, how can I use my brain to earn smarter, faster, better? In America, the job market rewards brains, not just hours. You could work 12 hours in a warehouse and still struggle. Meanwhile, someone who makes one strategic decision for a company in 3 hours can earn 10 times more. That's the difference. Practical advice. Asterisk. Every day, spend at least 30 minutes reading not just for entertainment, but to improve your thinking, finance, negotiation, communication. Asterisk. Ask yourself daily, what work adds real value? What work is just repetitive? Asterisk. Reward yourself with knowledge, not just things. Instead of a new pair of sneakers, maybe buy a course or a book that upgrades your mind. Intelligence is the currency that never depreciates. Principle 3. Invest wisely, never gamble with what you don't understand. Here's the painful truth. Many people treat investing like gambling. They hear about a hot stock or a new crypto coin and jump in blindly, and then they lose it all. But Jews? They never put money into something they don't fully understand. They buy knowledge first, and only then put money in. Before buying a property, they study the real estate laws, the neighborhood, the cash flow. Before buying a stock, they read financial statements, understand the company's model, and evaluate risk. Because to them, profit is not a reward for luck. Profit is the reward for understanding. I once saw a friend in Los Angeles throw $10,000 into a trending crypto coin just because everyone else was doing it. Within 2 weeks, it collapsed. He not only lost money, he couldn't even explain what he had bought. The Jewish way: never gamble with your future. Principle 4, focus on the 78/22 rule. You've heard of the 80/20 rule, right? That 20% of efforts create 80% of results. Jews have their own sharper version, the 78/22 rule. They believe only about 22% of what you do actually brings 78% of your profits. The rest? Noise, distraction, busyness that doesn't pay. Take a small diner in New Jersey. The owner once sold over 40 dishes. Every night he was exhausted, but barely profitable. One day, he reviewed sales numbers and realized only 9 dishes made almost all his profit. He cut the menu by 75%, focused on those 9, and within 3 months, profits tripled. That's Jewish focus. They don't chase everything. They master the few things that matter. Ask yourself, asterisk, which tasks at work actually move your career forward? Asterisk, which customers actually pay on time and return? Asterisk, which habits actually improve your life? Cut the rest. Double down on what really pays. Principle 5. Choose markets that never die: food, drink, and women. This one may sound unusual, but it's a long-held Jewish business strategy. They focus on 3 things that will always exist: food, drink, and women's spending. Think about it. In the US, people may skip buying a new iPhone for years, but they'll never stop buying groceries. They'll always spend on coffee, tea, or a quick bite on the go. And in most households, women make the majority of spending decisions, from food to clothes to childcare. So Jewish entrepreneurs don't just chase trends. They go where the cash flow is stable. For example, asterisk food businesses that deliver not just meals, but trust healthy, safe, reliable. Asterisk coffee chains that don't just sell caffeine, but sell moments of peace in a stressful day. Asterisk products designed for mothers who buy again and again if they feel secure. They build ecosystems, not just products. A grocery store also sells cooking classes. A juice bar also sells detox packages. A baby food brand also sells feeding accessories and parenting communities. That's why their wealth lasts. Because when you serve needs that repeat every day, your income becomes steady, too. Principle 6. Think beyond borders. Money doesn't sit still. It moves. And Jewish entrepreneurs have always believed, if there's no opportunity here, there will be one somewhere else. Historically, Jews were forced to migrate again and again, from Europe to America, from city to city. But instead of giving up, they developed a priceless skill: adapt fast and find opportunities everywhere. There's a story of a Jewish carpet salesman in New York. Instead of waiting for customers to walk into his store, he packed his samples, traveled to nearby towns, and knocked on doors himself. Within 2 years, he had a network of clients in 6 cities. He didn't wait for luck. He went further than others were willing to go. Today, thinking globally doesn't always mean getting on a plane. It could mean freelancing for international clients online. It could mean learning from business models in Japan, Korea, or Europe and applying them here in the US. It could mean selling products nationwide through Amazon, Shopify, or Etsy. Borders are not your limit. Your mindset is. Principle 7. Defense before attack. Have you noticed how truly wealthy people are rarely in a rush? They don't throw all their money into hot investments. They don't gamble on risky deals. Why? Because their first rule is always, protect before you grow. One Jewish businessman in Chicago once described it like this: I divide my money into 3 layers, one for daily living, one for investment, and one for emergencies. That way, no matter what happens, I never lose sleep. Imagine saving for years only to lose it all in one bad decision. That's why Jews build safety nets. Asterisk. An emergency fund to cover at least 6 months of expenses. Asterisk. Diversified investments, never putting everything in one basket. Asterisk insurance. Not as a luxury, but as a shield for family stability. Making money is important, but keeping money, that's where freedom lies. Principle 8. Reputation is invisible wealth. Money can disappear. Reputation, if built well, becomes a lifelong asset. In a small town in New Jersey, there was a Jewish watch repairman. He wasn't the cheapest. He didn't have flashy signs, but he always kept his word. If he promised a repair by 3 p.m., the watch was ready at 3 p.m., no excuses. One day, a wealthy investor brought him an antique watch. Impressed by his honesty and precision, the investor later backed him with capital to open multiple stores. That's the Jewish secret. Trust comes first, profit second. They teach their children, you can lose money, but you must never lose your word. Practical application. Asterisk. Keep small promises even if no one is watching. Asterisk. Take responsibility for mistakes instead of hiding them. Asterisk. Accept short-term losses to protect long-term trust. Reputation spreads quietly but powerfully. Sometimes, one introduction based on trust can open doors that money never could. Principle 9. Time is the real asset. We all have 24 hours a day, but why do some people create wealth while others barely get by? The difference is how they use their hours. Jewish culture treats time as the foundation of freedom. One Jewish bookstore owner in Manhattan told me, "Every morning I read for 1 hour, no matter how busy I am." Oh. At first, it seems like nothing. But from those notes and ideas, he created new product lines, found ways to keep customers loyal, and eventually opened a second branch. That one disciplined hour changed his entire income stream. Time, like money, can be invested or wasted. 1 hour could be used to asterisk draft a $100,000 proposal. Asterisk learn a new skill that doubles your income. Asterisk or scroll endlessly through TikTok videos. The choice makes all the difference. Practical steps. Asterisk find your golden hour when you're most focused and use it for your highest value work. Asterisk don't measure success by hours worked, but by value created. Asterisk remember, poor people spend time to survive. Wealthy people design time to build the future. Principle 10. Relationships are soft capital. There's a saying in Jewish circles, you don't need to know everything, you just need to know the right people. Wealth in America isn't built alone. It's built with networks. Think of a group of Jewish entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley. They didn't run endless ads to get funding. Instead, they called an uncle who had connections to an investment firm. A single meeting led to $1 million deal. Not luck, just social capital built over years. Jews don't wait until they're desperate to build relationships. They invest in people before they need them. They nurture trust, add value, and show up consistently. Ask yourself, asterisk, are you surrounding yourself with people who lift you up or drag you down? Asterisk, do you only call contacts when you need something, or do you invest in the relationship beforehand? Asterisk, do you spend time with people who think long-term like you want to? Soft capital is often worth more than cash. A single introduction can change your life. Principle 11. Win-win negotiation. Most people think negotiation is about winning, getting the best price, squeezing the other side until they give in. But Jews don't think that way. They see negotiation not as a battle, but as a bridge. Their philosophy, a good deal isn't when I win, a good deal is when both of us want to see each other again. One Jewish businessman in Los Angeles shared his story. In his first contract with a large supermarket chain, the profit-sharing terms were terrible. Instead of storming out, he asked, "If I accept this rate, will you commit to a 2-year contract?" The partner agreed. That stable revenue opened doors to bigger opportunities later on. The lesson: don't aim for short-term victory at the cost of long-term relationships. Every negotiation is about building trust that lasts. Practical tips. Asterisk, step into the other person's shoes. Ask, what do they really want? What are they most afraid of? Asterisk, always have a plan B, so you negotiate from strength, not desperation. Asterisk, ask more than you talk. Listen carefully to what's said and unsaid. Win-win negotiators become magnets for future deals. Principle 12. Act on information, not emotion. Have you ever heard someone say, "If only I had known earlier"? In business, ignorance is costly. The Jewish mindset treats information as currency. The right news 1 day earlier can mean double the profit. Take the story of an old Jewish shop owner in New York who sold used electronics. Every morning, instead of opening his shop right away, He read financial bulletins. He knew when prices would rise, so he bought inventory early. When others were stuck with overpriced stock, he sold out first. That's not luck. That's information leverage. In today's world, power doesn't come from land or factories. It comes from data, speed, and clarity. How to apply. Asterisk. Build your own information radar. Follow quality news sources, industry reports, and trusted voices. Asterisk. Don't just read, analyze. Ask, who benefits from this news? How does it affect me? Asterisk. Filter aggressively. Not all information matters. Focus only on what impacts your wallet, your business, your future. Knowledge is cheap when you ignore it, priceless when you act on it. Principle 13. Think in decades, not days. Most people plan for the next paycheck, maybe the next year. Jews plan for the next decade. They ask, what I'm doing today, will it still matter in 10 years? In Brooklyn, an elderly Jewish bookseller once said, I don't sell books. I sell reading habits to children. In 10 years, those kids will return with their own kids. He wasn't chasing quick profit. He was building legacy. Jewish families teach, don't just chase what's trending. Build what endures. They invest in businesses, skills, and relationships that will still stand strong after cycles of boom and bust. Practical steps. Asterisk. Write out who you want to be in 10 years. Where will you live? What work will you do? What lifestyle do you want? Asterisk. Say no to short-term distractions that don't align with that vision. Asterisk. When investing, ask, will this still be valuable in 10 years? Wealth isn't about winning today, it's about not losing tomorrow. Principle 14. Be a director, not just a doer. Many people get stuck being the hardest worker in the room, but Jews believe, don't just do everything, direct everything. Take the story of David, a bakery owner in New York. For years, he woke up at 4 a.m. to knead dough, bake bread, and serve customers himself. Eventually, exhaustion caught up with him. When he recovered, he changed his role. He hired bakers, documented recipes, created a quality control system, and focused on management and growth. Within 2 years, he had 3 new branches. He wasn't the best baker anymore, but he became a true leader. That's Jewish mastery. Organize, delegate, and build systems. Practical advice. Asterisk. Categorize your tasks. $10 tasks, $100 tasks, $10,000 tasks. Focus on the high-value ones. Asterisk. Build systems so work runs without you. Processes, checklists, clear roles. Asterisk. Learn to let go. Delegation isn't weakness, it's leverage. True wealth comes not from being irreplaceable at small tasks, but from building something bigger than yourself. Conclusion. Jews didn't become wealthy by luck, lottery, or shortcuts. They became wealthy by thinking differently and living strategically. From respecting $1 to using intelligence over muscle. From defending wealth before growing it to building reputation brick by brick. From treating time as capital to cultivating networks as invisible assets. From negotiating win-win to acting on timely information to thinking in decades, and finally, stepping into the director's chair. All these create a lifestyle of quiet, steady, lasting wealth. And here's the good news. You don't have to be Jewish to learn from Jewish wisdom. You can start today no matter how much money you have, no matter where you are. Because the real secret isn't just about money, it's about mindset. If you found these lessons valuable, don't forget to share them with someone who needs them. And remember, true wealth grows silently, not loudly.